What's going on with it, guys? UCF Jaguar back here with didnt.com, and I'm coming at you guys with some breaking Jaguars news that just broke a couple of hours ago. The Jaguars are going to be sending to the Browns a 2019 5th-round pick in exchange for their lead tailback, Carlos Hyde. And all I had to say about that is, bravo, man. We finally were able to acquire a power back, a bruiser. Of course, our whole entire offense was built around Leonard Fournette. It was built around a power run game, and due to Fournette being injured, we have been left bone dry. We don't have a Chris Ivory anymore. We don't have anybody that's going to be in there, a big bruiser. You know, we went out there and we acquired a guy like Jamal Charles, but he doesn't really fit our offense. And, you know, now we have Carlos Hyde in there, and we finally have a power back. Now, it's interesting the way the Jaguars' backfield has shifted over the course of the season. We went from Leonard Fournette, Yeldon, and Corey Grant to TJ Yeldon, Carlos Hyde, and Jamal Charles. So it was a move that the Jaguars absolutely needed to make, and I love that we only gave up a 5th-round pick for him, just because, you know, I'm a guy that I like my picks in the first 4 rounds. I think those are the money picks. I think if you hit on those picks every year, you're going to be a good team long-term, and you're going to be able to sustain success pretty well. And you know, we trade them over to the Browns. It's a good situation for the Browns, too. They have a big logjam over there at running back, as obviously they signed Carlos Hyde in the offseason. They drafted Nick Chubb out of Georgia in the 2nd round. And they also have Duke Johnson, who they kind of signed to a big money contract this offseason. So a little bit about Carlos Hyde. You know, he was a 2nd-round pick in the 2014 NFL draft out of Ohio State University. He's 6 foot tall, 230 pounds according to Wikipedia. And, you know, he's currently on a 3-year, $15.25 million deal. Now, regardless of what happened this offseason, the Jaguars are going to have to sign a running back to a deal. Just because you look at it, Fournette's going to be under contract, but both TJ Yeldon and Corey Grant are going to be free agents next offseason. I would definitely expect TJ Yeldon to be able to get a decent amount of money with what he's able to do. You know, I see him maybe being able to fit in with a team that runs out of the shotgun a lot, has like zone run scheme, kind of fits kind of like the Steelers or kind of like the Chiefs do. But kind of getting away from that, man. The Jaguars, they're going to have to do something, and, you know, they're going to be able to have this guy under contract for another 3 years. Now, Carlos Hyde, he was a guy that kind of started off his season, you know, his NFL career kind of injured, but, you know, he played all games in 2017. He's played all games in 2018 so far. In both 2016 and 2017, he rushed for over 900 yards in each of those seasons. So, you know, he's been able to be a pretty productive back, and we needed this. I mean, Carlos Hyde, he's a lot better, I think, than a guy like Chris Ivory. You know, hopefully he does protect the ball well. Haven't watched too much film of him, just with him being out in the NFC West. Don't really watch too many 49ers games, especially with the way they have been in the past like 5 years. Now, Carlos Hyde has never been on a winning team before, so hopefully we can kind of break that a little bit for him. Now, I know a lot of people are speculating, saying, okay, you know, they definitely signed him because there's probably a setback to Leonard Fournette right now. But really, the way it is I just don't think the Jaguars want to be burnt again by Fournette. I don't think they want to say, okay, we want to do all these great things, but we have to wait for Leonard Fournette to come back. No, like we can't be sitting around waiting. We are at 3-3. You know, we're not going to be having Leonard Fournette for the next couple of games. So I mean, we can't afford to really be dropping more games and waiting for him to come back at the second part of the season. You know, I wouldn't expect Carlos Hyde to be playing Sunday against the Houston Texans, but honestly, the next week against the Eagles, I would probably expect him to start. You know, I don't think he's going to play against the Texans. You don't just trade for a guy and less than 48 hours later insert him into the lineup. We're going to have to make a roster move after he passes a physical, so we're probably going to be dropping Dave Williams, the guy that we signed out of on the Denver Broncos practice squad. So, yeah, I mean, Carlos Hyde is going to be on a team, and it's a good move. He's a power back. Hopefully he can do some good things. His yards per carry is kind of low right now, but, you know, we'll see, just because he's behind you know, Cleveland Browns offensive line. Not that our O-line may be that much better, but, you know, we're a power running team. We finally have a power back. and it's good stuff. Now, I'm not one to really read too much into different like national media tweets, guys with a blue check mark by their name, just because I don't really know exactly how much intel they're getting. I know guys like Jason Lacken4 goes out there and just tweets whatever just to get a grasp, but this guy Michael Silver, he is a writer at Sports Illustrated. He tweeted out, Jags' decision to trade for Carlos Hyde stemmed from mounting frustration inside the building, and particularly amongst coaches, about Fournette's prolonged absence. Built the offense around him, hamstring issues continue to linger. So, you know, this move, it makes it more comfortable to say, hey, we're able to sit Leonard Fournette until we absolutely know he is healthy and can play. We forced him into action too early last time, and it obviously burnt us. It set us back big time. So, I mean, this is a move that says, okay, Leonard Fournette, we don't have to play him immediately. Carlos Hyde, he'll finally be able to come back in there. And, you know, I don't think the coaches are necessarily frustrated with like Fournette in particular. I just think they're frustrated about the situation, just saying, hey, we're no longer able to do the things that we were wanting to do. You know, now we're having to put the ball into, you know, Blake Bortles' hands and having him throw to kind of a subpar, like thin wide receiver group. So we have Carlos Hyde in there. Good acquisition, only traded away a 5th round pick. Excellent stuff, and we're in win now mode. So, you know, hopefully Carlos Hyde can make an impact and be that in between the tackles guy. So let me know y'all's thoughts in the comment section, man. Watch Crazy Dog's video about him, good stuff. Also Jet Central, and yeah, I'll see you guys. I'll be doing a live stream tonight, so I'll see you guys then.